Um, at some point in this, I gain full vision and I see a young Indian boy. He's 15 years old. I don't know that at the time he looks more like 12, but I see this young Indian boy, and he's very busy. He's I have 360 vision, so he's down near my feet and giving me the adjustment from my feet, and then he runs around to the front and he does something over near the crown of my head, and then he runs back to the back and does my feet and legs again, and I begin to get it. Um, he is doing what he needs to do to keep me in the vibration that is letting me see him and that is letting me speak with him. Our conversation began at the same time that the vision came around, and everything here happens simultaneously. So it's really hard to say this out in a timeline, but I'm going to do my best. Um, I keep saying in my mind, oh my God, this is real. And I keep touching things. And when I touch them, more vibrations. And everything is 500% clear and feelable, everything. And I'm just so fascinated in my mind by what I'm seeing, and the only thing I want to know is if he's the one I call Naru. Are you my guide? Are you the one I've been calling Naru? And um, he comes round near my ear, and he says, yes and no. And there's this lingering emphasis on the no. And so I say, well, what is your name? And he says, my name is Mesahari. And I'm just startled. I'm just totally thrilled and mesmerized and saying in my mind, oh my God, I heard a name. I say it again, Mesahari, Mesahari. I'm trying to burn it into my mind so that when I wake back in my room, I remember the name. And I'm just very curious about him. He's busy working. And at this same time, there's another Indian boy, maybe 20 years old, coming in through the door back there. And I haven't given him much attention yet. I'm still with Mesahari. Um, are you an Indian? And he says yes, and he gives me his tribal name. This did not stay with me. I did repeat it, and I think it starts with an S, but it did not stay with me. He's clearly not from our planet Earth, not from our timeline, but looks fully human and looks like an indigenous Indian, although not dressed in the exact same way, but in a loincloth. Um, he tells me he's 15 years old. Um, the very first thing, and a vibration that's staying through this whole event, is a single sentence, and it's underlying everything that we're saying, and it's, you are coming with me now. You are coming with me now. So that was the whole energetic feeling of this, was him and the other boy, you're coming with me now, trying to get this wave of energy so that I would go with them now. At a certain point, I stand up and I'm going over to meet the other boy coming through the door, and I spill over a tea that was not really sitting next to the bed pad, but was here now. And we're sopping this up, and the cloth that I'm using is just starting to overfill. And I say to him, I'll step outside and wring this out. But then I got to the door, and I could feel that I was afraid to go through the door. And I could hear the words, you're coming with me now. And I asked him, because I didn't know, am I dying? Am I leaving my body now? And the boy tells me that I could come back to my body before this happens. Not completely relieved at hearing this and not fully understanding what that meant. The event then begins to get a little shaky. Now, some traveling did occur from here, I went to my father's house and found myself in communication with an ex-roommate before I wake back up into my room. So this was my first fully conscious OBE, meeting Mesahari. These past two OBEs, the abduction scenario and meeting Mesahari, coupled with a few others, have begun to relay a very important message to me. And that message relays the process by which I'm being woken up. Basically, they are stepping the event back in my consciousness. It started in full sleep. So the part of me that I commonly refer to as me was totally asleep at the onset of the event. It was occurring, but I was asleep. Then the event was stepped back a bit into my dream awareness. And from there, it was stepped back even further into where I was becoming lucid in a dream. And from there, it was stepped back even further into my standard conscious waking state, lying there in the bed, coming into already present full body vibrations. Then the event was stepped back even further. And this is where I am now. Now the event does not happen without my full conscious approval. And what I mean by that is not just a mental approval. I mean that I have to approve with absolutely all of me, fully realizing what I'm agreeing to prior to it now happening, or it doesn't happen. And this is where I have been for the past month, and things are happening very fast for me, and I'm very thankful for that. Very thankful for a lifelong yoga practice and some very key people positioned around me. But it's here that I am now meeting my remaining fears, moving through them so that I can receive more of the vibrations, so that what needs to be relayed through me to you can happen. And I'm just very deeply honored to be involved in this event in this way together with you. No words, just very deeply appreciative of everyone, of all of you. There will, of course, be more coming in more detail in regard to the vibrations very soon. Until then, namaste.